In the past 2 years, ESG funds have seen a significant decrease in investment flows, with a lack of trust in their sustainability credentials often being cited as the reason. The sustainability disclosure and labeling regime is intended to counter this. But how has its implementation progressed? And will it really keep the sustainable capital drive on track? Listen on to find out more.
Welcome to ESG in the City, your go-to podcast for all things ESG and sustainable finance. We're here to keep you informed and inspired as you navigate the evolving world of ESG and financial services, all in under 10 minutes.
I'm Cameron. I'm joined by Maitrai today to discuss the Sustainability Disclosure and Labeling Regime, or SDR, and its mission to combat greenwashing fears and restore consumer confidence. We'll be discussing the motivation behind its introduction, as well as its reception by the investment industry. Maitrai, would you like to kick us off?
Absolutely. I think we should start by providing our listeners with a quick recap of SDR.
Great idea. Take it away.
So, the FCA's SDR regime was published on the 28th of November last year, introducing a package of measures including sustainability labels for investment products, increased disclosure requirements, and a general anti-greenwashing rule. To start with the labels, there are 4 options that are able to be applied to investment products that fit the bill. Firstly, sustainability focused, sustainability improvers, sustainability impact, and finally, sustainability mixed goals. These are the 4 labels that funds can apply.
Absolutely. And importantly, the labeling regime will be accompanied by restrictions on the use of particular sustainability-related terms in product names and marketing. The terms sustainable, sustainability, and impact are now only allowed by products that apply a label.
Alongside the labels, the SDR has also introduced consumer-facing disclosure requirements for products that use sustainability-related terms in their name or marketing, alongside more detailed disclosures to be made available in pre-contractual and ongoing disclosures, the likes of which are intended to provide further transparency on a product's sustainability objective, investment strategy, performance, and management of sustainability-related risks and opportunities.
Absolutely. And on top of that, even greater disclosure requirements are placed upon products with a label, with firms mandated to disclose whether the investment strategy could negatively impact other sustainability factors in both the consumer-facing and pre-contractual disclosures.
And finally, to close out our SDR recap, a general anti-greenwashing rule has also been introduced, which requires firms to ensure that any reference to the sustainability disclosures and characteristics of a product or service is fair, clear, and not misleading.
Yep, and that leads us nicely on to the motivations behind SDR. And I'd like to discuss the increasing lack of faith investors have in the authenticity of ESG claims being made about investment products. The 2024 UN Trade and Development World Investment Report found that the average net exposure of global green funds to climate-positive assets lay just over 20%, really demonstrating the disparity between representation and reality.
That's really interesting, Cameron. So how has this increasing distrust been reflected by the actions of the investors?
Well, for one, Maitrai, there's been a $494 billion drop in net investment flows in sustainable funds from 2021 to 2023. And views on greenwashing may have played a significant role in this.
And well, if you want a case that's emblematic of greenwashing concerns recently, you really don't need to look any further than Client Earth's letter of complaint to the French financial regulator AMF. They are alleging that the asset management company BlackRock have marketed 18 actively managed retail investment funds in France using the name Sustainable in their names, despite the fact that these funds collectively hold more than $1 billion of fossil fuel investment, the majority of this representing fossil fuel expansion.
Absolutely. And this uncertainty is exactly what the SDR is aiming to erase, with its measures intending to restore trust in the potential of sustainable funds to truly be a force for change.
So there is still plenty at stake, because despite the decrease in investment flows, sustainability-themed funds still control almost $3 trillion worth of assets as of 2023. And the European markets in particular are still showing plenty of enthusiasm for sustainable investing. Consumer trust, therefore, becomes pivotal to restoring momentum.
100%. And on that note, let's take a look at how SDR has been implemented so far. Whilst it's still too early to gain a complete picture, a survey conducted from March to April 2024 by the Investment Association estimated that approximately 200 of the roughly 3,200 funds managed by the 68 respondents would be labelled.
So this represents roughly 6.25% of the overall fund population that's eligible for this. But when compared to the adoption of sustainability labels in other European markets by SFDR, such as the Greenfin or Lux Flag, this uptake is going to be at a similar level.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose that begs the ultimate question, and we'll call our final one for the day. Even if the label uptake is strong, will the SDR measures have been successful in restoring trust in products that have been marketed as being sustainable?
So interestingly, I think the AIC has some insights here with the latest ESG attitudes tracker being published recently. Firstly, nearly 2/3 of investment intermediaries surveyed viewed SDR labels as a positive move towards greater trust, with wealth managers in particular viewing this labels positively at 78% of their responses, reporting this increased trust.
Well, that is certainly a positive note. However, perhaps the strongest reflection of potential for the demand for sustainable investing to bounce back is the nearly 2/3 of surveyed private clients who indicated a willingness to increase their engagement with sustainably labelled investment options following these changes.
So the potential for demand really is there, and there's also this sense of optimism within the industry. But given the difficulties that these ESG funds have been facing, it really does remain to be seen whether the SDR will be able to stimulate this renewed investment in funds and reassure both private and institutional investors that they are contributing to a genuine social good.
Exactly, there's still plenty of uncertainty. But unfortunately, on that cliffhanger, we'll be saying our goodbyes for the day. But not without leaving you with something sure to think about. Is a lack of trust the key driver in the decreased investment in ESG funds, or are there more impactful forces at play? Thanks for listening to ESG in the City. If you found today's episode engaging, be sure to like, share, and hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. Got questions or suggestions? Connect with us on LinkedIn and Novartis Global, or reach out to us at esg@novartis.global. We'd love to hear from you.
Here's Maitrai
and Cameron,
signing off for now. Sustainably yours, Novartis Global.